Again, we want to thank everybody for coming. Have a great evening, and we thank you for your support. Thank you. This is the greatest speech I've ever given. Thank you. Thank you for your support. Hello. Welcome. Speaking of hometown heroes, the Roaders, hello. Oh, yeah, you can applaud. Yeah, that's fine. Well, officially, good evening and welcome. Who has a swimming pool? Anybody have a swimming pool? We can come over maybe after, over there. Yes, we're going to head over to your house afterwards. Is that fine? All right. Excellent. Welcome everybody. United Way, the Titusville Region, and their big annual kickoff. This year's theme, Hometown Heroes. And honestly, though, look around because I see a lot of heroes here, except for maybe Clark. I don't think Citizen of the Year translates to Hometown Hero all the time, but we want to thank our major sponsor, Stifler McGraw. Of course, you can applaud for that. I always like that name, Stifler McGraw. It sounds like a great company, doesn't it? And then you have Joe who works there. Almost, buddy, almost. Emily Altamar, I see Emily's here. She's going to be speaking in a little bit. This is not an ORA meeting, Emily. I'm sorry. But she's here to talk about some other things, and we can't wait to... No, yeah, you're here. She's going to talk. She's here. She's going to talk. We have all night. These folks, look at them. They wanted to start at 6:15, and we said no. We're going to begin. Of course, we welcome all of you, and we're going to do the call to order. To do that, let's bring up Stephanie Feely, United Way of the Titusville Region, and Joe Roddy. Joe, you can come up, but we're going to start with Stephanie Feely. Steph?
Okay, good evening, everyone. On behalf of the United Way of the Titusville Region, I'd like to welcome you to tonight's kick-off campaign. Over the past year, the United Way of the Titusville Region has been very busy assisting the community members with financial independence, acquainting community members with agencies and services that can assist them, and starting 211 in our area. The staff has worked countless hours serving others, and the board of directors is very dedicated to meeting the mission of the United Way of the Titusville Region. At this time, I'm going to introduce a few key people involved with tonight's campaign kickoff. So when I call your name, if you could please stand to be recognized. Our staff from the office, our Chief Professional Officer, Terry Wigg. Center for Financial Independence Program Director, Jody Lavery. Is Betty here? Okay. And Betty Fry, who is our Program Support Specialist, is unable to be with us this evening. And our social worker, Gretchen Howard. This year's campaign vice chairperson, Emily Altamore. This year's co-chair family, we'll say, John and Amy Herman, as well as their children. And the members of the United Way of the Titusville Region Board of Directors. And I'm not going to read your names individually, so if any board members are here, if you could please stand. And then we have a couple special dignitaries that we'd like to recognize at this time. Shar Eggleston from the Titusville Area School District School Board. Cindy Roy from Senator Michelle Brooks' office. And Barb Ives from Congressman Glenn Thompson's office. And at this time, I'd like to bring up Joe Roddy from Stifler McGraw, who will say a few words on behalf of the campaign kickoff sponsor.
Thank you. now that everybody knows who I am, I'm going to take this off because I'm getting tired of picking it up off the ground because it won't stay on. So, you know, I thought it would be funny if I came out here in a really heavy winter coat and a stocking cap and gloves. I thought that might be funny, but unlike Luke, I'm not that desperate for a laugh. So we'll just... So I'll be very brief, but on behalf of the staff at Stifler McGraw, we want to thank you all for giving us the opportunity to be here and be the sponsor for this event. You know, every one of us has both needed assistance and been able to provide assistance to others, and you know, the joy you get from helping others is quite an amazing feeling. And to be able to be a part of an organization that can help so many, you know, each of us individually can only help so many, but when you gather together and work with an organization like the United Way, we can exponentially increase that number. So I just want to say thank you again for the opportunity to work with the staff and to be a part of this great organization. So thank you again.
Thank you, Joe. Just so everybody knows, at 2:15 this afternoon, Joe sent me a text message. Do you have any jokes for me? And by the way, Joe, I've been asking for a hat for 5 years. Now they're in there and I stole it. Chief, you can arrest me later. Or when do you leave? A couple weeks. Okay. Now for the update on the United Way, let's bring in Terry Ann Wigg, Chief Professional Officer of the United Way of the Titusville Region.
Okay, I'm not nearly as tall as Joe, so that's a little better for me. Okay. Thank you all for coming to this evening's event to help us celebrate a very successful 2017 and the beginning of our 2018 Hometown Heroes campaign. You can see we have one of our heroes here, and isn't he cute, everybody? Yay. His parents happen to be sitting here, so, you know. Please take posters and materials from the inside to put in your businesses and share around for us, please. Thank you to Stifler McGraw for being our major sponsor, and First Energy Foundation as being a sponsor for the event tonight. Thank you to Ashley English for everything. I don't know where she is. For everything she's done to help us out. I showed up the other day and the tents were already up. So that was wonderful. And her staff helped with the tables and chairs, and she's been a fabulous host. 2017 was a very active and successful year. I think the staff is exhausted. Yeah, a little bit, yeah. Last year we raised a record $203,000 in our community. And just to make it extra special, last year was the first year we were able to give away or use to support programs at 100% of that campaign dollars given. So no fundraising or administrative fees came out of your campaign dollars this year. And that is because of the volunteers that work so hard to help support the United Way and get out there and help us do our work. Something else that was new this year was the Thrive Women's Initiative, and that was established in cooperation with the YWCA. And we had 2 very successful handbag bingos. Who knows about the handbag bingos? Were they fun? Okay, get ready. November 2nd. Is the next one. Ashley has tickets. Okay, so get ready for that. The big thing that we did this summer, and Ashley really coordinated this, were the swim days. Since there's no longer a pool in our community, we decided to help out families a little bit, get kids off the street, give them something to do, and the school was gracious enough to rent us the pool for a very nominal fee. And we had about 3,000 swimmers, over 3,000 swimmers, which averaged about 100 kids a day. And we also put about 10 kids to work a little bit this summer as lifeguards and support in the pool. And we want to thank everybody that helped with that and the businesses that also provided some sponsorships. We're currently developing through the Thrive collaborative that we have a high school mentoring program. We've been working with Amy at the high school, and we were trying to match girls with career women to help them with their next steps on how to get their career going and what they're going to be doing after when they graduate and leave the high school. 211, as Stephanie talked about, went live this year in Crawford County, and the stats show that hundreds of households have called 211 to get the help they need for to meet their human services. I know when we were here last year, we hadn't had our launch yet, and just to let you know, it's going well. We want to build the numbers more, of course, so please keep referring folks, and there's lots of business cards in there that have 211 information on it that you can pass out. I'm not going into much more detail about last year. Annual reports and our impact statements are available for you inside. One thing we do want to mention, this year we are having, we are beginning our needs assessment process to work on assessing the needs in our community and getting a plan together so our United Way can have the greatest impact in our community. So be watching, like us on Facebook. We'll get some information out and you can help us distribute the surveys when we get that going. I want to thank you all for your continued support this year, and I'm confident that we will be able to reach the $190,000 mark that was set by our board of directors. I'm a little nervous. Last year was really super good, so let's hope we can do that again this year. I hope you all will continue to support our fight for education, health, and financial stability for every person. Thank you.
Hey, Terry, John wants to know the number again for 211. Now that one I was digging for, Joe. All right, now we're going to introduce the Student United Way Soul Patrol Kids. They're not all here, but most of them are. We're going to start with Brian Clark. He is the Soul Patrol team leader. Isabella DeRose. Brooke Fry. Kate McAllister. Bailey Menemeyer. Carolyn Murphy. Mary Murphy. Callie Sampson. And Nick Wright, he cannot be here because he's playing soccer right now. So they were winning last I checked. Brian.
Hi, I'm Brian. So 2 years ago, a group of students from the high school went to Quito, Ecuador. It was the same trip, and now, 2 years later, we're doing it again. A little bit about the trip. As you heard, there's 9 students and 4 chaperones going. The purpose of why we're going down, we're taking 200 pairs of socks and shoes to kids in need. We're taking pairs of reading glasses. And we are taking, down there we're going to be buying food and distributing it to the families. So for this trip, we've been doing a lot of fundraising. We have, on August 25th, we did a car wash at Advanced Auto Parts. And we have a dodgeball tournament planned coming up in November. So we're hoping that's going to be big money maker there, hopefully. And then we have the grid cards. They're in those purple folders over there sitting on the table. Those, you want to go get one? Kate's gonna get one. I'll show you guys what they are. We're doing those. We're gonna have a couple soup dinners. There's a service auction too that we're gonna do. So this is the grid card. Each one of these little circles here are stickers, and underneath the sticker is a dollar amount from 1 to 10. And you can ask the person that you ask them if they want to do it or not, and if they say yes, you tell them to pick a sticker, and whichever one they peel, underneath that is a dollar amount, and that's the amount that they pay. On each card, there's $167. So this should be, hopefully this is going to be a good sale. So another thing, one of the major problems with, since we are students going down and we're going during school, a lot of the teachers are worried about all the makeup work that we're going to be doing. And Mrs. Jez, she was all on board for this. We're going to be taking a class. It's once every week in directed learning. That's the last period of the day. It's like a study hall. But we're going to have a class that talks about just Ecuador. So, and for this trip, we're going to be talking with our guide, Antonio. We'll be Skyping with him every day that we do it. And then, so because we're doing this class, we won't have to make up the work that we miss. So I think that's pretty much it. So thank you.
That's hands-on learning, guys, so don't worry about the classroom stuff. This is real-world stuff. Last time I went on a trip out like that, we had our tour guide was Sly Eddie. We learned how to do an operation in an alley at night. Crazy. But the guy got his kidney, so. Well, for special comments, actually it's 6 o'clock, so why don't we just do this whole thing again? Okay. Do you guys have time? Tracy's like, get me out of here. I gotta. Special comments. Let's bring up Emily Altamar, Vice Chair, and John and Amy Herman, the chairs. And before they speak, Callie and Mary just showed up, so wave. Brian just did a 30-minute speech. You guys are next.
Hi, John Herman, Amy Herman, in case you didn't know. Amy and I are extremely proud and humbled to be chosen as chairs for the United Way campaign. Moreover, we're extremely proud to be members of this community. I love Titusville, and I'll tell you a little bit about why I do. I grew up a country boy in south central Pennsylvania. I didn't have neighbors where I grew up, much less a community. Some might describe my house as little more than a shack in the woods. When I first took Amy to my house and we came down the driveway, I know she was thinking, okay, where's the house? And when I graduated from college, I thought that that's what I wanted. Growing up in the woods with my brother and my sister and my family, it was a good thing for us. I graduated from college and I applied to 90 different school districts. I interviewed at 7. 3 that I recall interviewing were Northern Potter County School District, Northern Tioga County School District, and Southern Tioga County School District. If you're familiar with those counties, then you know what I was looking for, because that's what I thought that I wanted. Fate, God, led me to Titusville, and I'm so grateful. I've married well. I have 3 incredible children. Some say that I'm biased, but no, I think that's a pretty accurate assessment. And Amy and I marvel at the opportunities that are here in Titusville for our family and for our children. I love the fact that Benson Library is a block and a half from our house. I love the Admire Complex and its proximity to Oil Creek State Park and the hiking and biking that's there. The sports and rec programs are incredible. The plays that my kids have been able to participate in through the Arts Council. I love the police and fire departments and the fact that they'll lip dub. It's an amazing community, and there's so many opportunities here. The YM and the YWCA. My kids can swim. That's significant because I can't swim, which makes pool parties very exciting for me sometimes. We love Titusville. We love this community. We're extremely honored to be chairs or vice chairs, co-chairs for the United Way. Supporting United Way, for me, is the best way to support the community. It's a way that we can say thank you to Titusville, to everything that Titusville has given me and my family. So I'm incredibly grateful for the school district that hired me 25 years ago, and that my plans didn't work out as I intended when I was 21 years old and I thought that I knew what I wanted. Things have worked out very well for us and for me. So thank you all, and let's have a great campaign this year for United Way.
So I also decided to think back on my childhood and how it has impacted me and influenced me to support United Way in the manner that we do. And I won't spend a lot of time, but I will give you a brief sense of my growing up time. I grew up in a very large family. Some of you may be familiar. 15 children, which wasn't in my prepared stuff, but thank you. 15 children. So along with that came many, many fun-filled, loving, and joyous memories. However, in our particular circumstance, along with it also came tragedies. Permanent injury, disability, fire, flood, theft, violence, social service agencies, Afghan raffles, benefit dinners, police, ambulances, tears and heartache. Tragic? Yes. Oppressive? Maybe. An opportunity for resiliency? Most definitely. So that is the past. And so now to the present. So in my work at the school district, I and the school counselors that I supervise work with families. And we listen to their stories of injury, disability, fire, flood, theft, violence, police, ambulances, tears, and heartache. So it all comes back around. So John and I support the United Way for the future. We are so blessed and thankful for all that we have experienced, earned, and been given throughout our lives to this point. We know that by supporting United Way, we are able to touch the lives of those who need it most. We know that the United Way and the Center for Financial Independence are strong supports for families who are experiencing much of what my family experienced years back. And we are confident that our United Way works with community agencies to foster resiliency that will move our young people in a positive direction, just as I have experienced. In the area in which I grew up, there was no United Way. All I had was one tough, strong mother. So we support United Way for those who need someone to help find that one tough, strong person, wherever that person is, at an agency, at school, or anywhere. Resiliency can be fostered, and United Way can help. So our family is proud to support United Way and all of its efforts this year and always.
That's a lot to follow. No, it's wonderful, and I knew that coming into this with so many past chairs here in the audience this evening. Thank you, Luke. You've always been there to just correct me that little tiny bit, just that tweak I needed. But there's so many past chairs here in the audience tonight, and you leave big shoes to fill and lofty goals. to live up to last year's standards and the goals that are here. I thought Luke would have mentioned to you that I'm your former chamber director. And, okay, he was getting there. I cut him off. He was, going to mention that part, but I can tell you as the former chamber director that I don't think a week went by when we didn't refer someone to the United Way for any number of things. And the chamber itself is a place when people don't know where to go to ask, they come to the chamber. And lots of times when we don't know where else they can go or we're not sure exactly what they need, we know they need the United Way. And so we're happy to support that. I'm happy to support that personally. We make a lot of referrals to the United Way. The 211 program will be wonderful for making those connections maybe to someone who isn't quite sure where to go or doesn't want to walk into an office. They can call a hotline, they can send a text and receive that help. And that help is there because of the time and effort that you all have put in, the donations you've made, the way that you have spread the United Way's message to the rest of the community, that it is something important, that it is something that improves the quality of life, not only for ourselves and our town, but everyone in it and everyone who maybe just passes through. So for those reasons, I'm very excited to join the Hermans and all of you who've held this role before me, and we're excited to, yes, have a very successful campaign this year. And thanks to Terry and her crew for all the work that they do to carry that out.
And again, Emily is not leaving the community. She'll still be here, so she'll be very much involved. At this time, I just want to remind everybody there's still plenty of food left. There's desserts. The stewards, they did a good job, but don't tell them I said that. So there's still plenty to eat. Please go in, and I saw people take stuff home. People were dumping in their purses. Chris was doing that. So just pour it in, take it with you. Enjoy the evening. And just real quick, just take a look around. We talk about the beauty here. This is just gorgeous. I mean, look. Take a look. Take a look. Look at the yard. It's just a beautiful day. We live in a great place. Unless you think Naples is a good place, then I guess you go there. But Chief, I just want to let you know, as you leave us in a couple weeks, don't forget the kids here. They like to swim, bike, run, jump, skip. Yes, they have an Ed Meyer complex. I know, and that's how it's going to end. Thank you for coming. A big thanks to Ashley and the crew here at the YWCA for hosting the event. To Stewart's Premier Catering, thank you. To Terry and everybody at the United Way, thank you for all you guys do. And again, this year's theme, Hometown Heroes. If you don't think you're a hero, I would imagine everybody here knows you guys are heroes in what you do. Even giving $1 to the United Way makes you a hero. So support the campaign this year. Thank you and best of luck. Have a great evening.